Sweet. So we're going to get dived in. We're going to look through all of our gaps. We're going to look through our stocks. We're going to trade together, make some money. Inexplicable to just me, it says, are all the sessions recorded after the free week as well? I record some of them. Yeah, I record some of them. So if I'm ever on the mic and you want to listen to a recording, let me know. I can share it with you. We record some. The afternoon rooms are always recorded, but the morning rooms, I don't record all of them generally because it's like more content than you could ever watch in a lifetime. You know, it's just a lot of content. Why do you ask, my friends? What additional value can I provide for you? By the way, as everyone's getting piled in and getting all excited, I do want to share something with you just to make sure you're aware that this is happening. I am coming, and RLT is going international. If you have never been to Croatia, I would love for you to put your dream board and your vision board on standby. We're going to be going in Croatia on this yacht, ladies and gentlemen. I did book this. I already put the down payment on it. This is locked and loaded. This is happening. 8 days, 7 nights, Mediterranean private yacht. And it's very, very reasonable and affordable. So if you guys want to come, I will put that link in the chat pane. I can assure you this will be a life-changing experience. It's worth not only the money, but it's worth the time. Christopher Johnson says, will you be doing this next year too? The cruise, I'm not sure. I mean, no idea. We do something every year. Last year we did Turks and Caicos. This year we're doing Croatia. So make sure to swing by. There's about 11 spots left. And again, it's really, I think it's quite reasonable. It's only $5,000 a person, which again, I'm not sure if you've ever been on an exclusive yacht sailing in the Mediterranean or not before, but this includes everything. So you show up and this is it. It's really quite fantastic, in my opinion. I think it's a really good bargain. So, you know, it's not as inexpensive as a Carnival cruise. I get that. But guys, there are 6 double bedroom cabins left if you and your spouse want to come, and there's only 3 twin cabins left. So this will sell out probably by the end of the week. So just keep that in mind. If you've never done something like this, this is probably your time to do it. It will change your life. Remember, your network is your net worth. All right. So Greg Gilbert, come on, baby. You and your wife, let's go. This is the time. Get those passports locked and loaded, folks. We got to start getting some traveling in. All right. Let's go look at the broader markets. And first on my list on the stocks that we're going to review is Delta and Delta Airlines. Let me just make sure I have all this ready. Okay. So Delta bounced off the 100 simple on the weekly yesterday. This is one that I did miss yesterday. I missed this trade. In fact, if we go back and look at it, it was a really nice trade. I don't mind missing it, right? You miss trades. We miss trades. I miss trades all the time. This was the trade that I missed right here, that candle breakout, entry there, stop there. I did set up a limit buy, and we almost got filled on the limit buy, but we missed that trade. But ironically enough, later in the afternoon, you can see it actually came back to that level, gave you a retest of that level, double bottomed, and here's your bear candle closing above the 10 EMA. I could have taken it there with a stop there and got another amazing win on Delta Airlines. How cool would that have been? That would have been great. So anyway, Delta Airlines, really nice looking move in the afternoon. Wendy says, will you do some crypto today? Of course. Just ask me in about an hour. I'll be happy to look at crypto for you. No problem. Greg says, can you help us understand why you put a stop and where you do? Yeah, Greg, I'll talk about that all day today. Again, been doing that all week, but I can talk about that today. It's really easy. That's the good news. At least it's simple, right? Okay, 87 and the low is 30. So there will be opportunities today bountiful opportunities because essentially everything's going to be gapping probably above the high of yesterday. Hector Hernandez, what's up, dude? So everything is gapping up today, which is nice, I guess. So I'm going to draw the moving averages on Delta again, just to make sure that we have those. These are the daily moving averages that might act as a support later in the day. Let me see if the weekly, yep. So we're getting back to where all these moving averages are. So we got the weekly 10 EMA, weekly and daily 10 EMA. Okay, put that there. All right, that's Delta and the monthly moving averages. Oh, might as well include, yeah, monthly 10. Monthly 10 EMA, got it. And then the weekly, I think the weekly 20 is right there too. So it is gapping up into some resistance, which is fine. I mean, that's not a big deal. You've had 2 huge buying days in a row on Delta. So if I had to assume, it's probably going to gap up, trade up into some resistance, and have a small down, a little bit of a bear candle today, kind of retesting these retest gaps. So we will find out if we get an opportunity to do anything exquisite on that. Otherwise, we'll just kind of hang out and let it do its thing. Apple. So we did have a nice profitable trade on Apple yesterday. And we are gapping up today above the high, or at least right at the high. So we'll get a chance to see if Apple is a gap that we can trade today and or make money on. But it does look like it is gapping above or at least right at the high of yesterday. So right now, all I'm doing is drawing my lines to signify and represent the high of day and low of day. All right, 157.02, 167.76. I'll draw moving averages up here at the 10 EMA on the daily. So we have them. Okay, this is the 10 EMA on daily. Just so I know where it's at. And I don't think there's tons here on the weekly chart. Not really. Weekly 20 EMA. And weekly 10 EMA. Just so I can have them. All right. So there we go. It'll be interesting to see what Apple does. Again, earnings are right around the corner, and that should be extremely interesting to see how it opens. But we are probably going to be able to trade most things pretty early in the day today. I'm still going to look for our signal, right? I'm not going to be dumb and just get into anything immediately at open right away with all my money, right? Still going to risk ours, still going to watch the market, and still going to look for my signal. We got the daily 200 here on AMD. We got the weekly 50 EMA. We got the monthly 10 EMA, and we are gapping up. So AMD is a great gap, right? If it opens above the high, we can trade it in the first 20 minutes. Otherwise, we have to wait, but then we can trade it in that 20-minute time frame. So we'll see what happens on AMD. Harold says, so for the 10 EMA strategy, if it jumps above yesterday's high, do I have to wait X amount of minutes after market open or just after the bear candle? Just wait for the bear or bull candle to get formed above or below the moving average and get in. Easy stuff. Tesla gapping up nicely. So Tesla is also gapping up, which is cool. So we got Tesla. I know my buddy Chris Rimble is pretty heavy in Tesla right now. Earnings are this week, right around the corner. And this will be a really, really intriguing event on earnings. So with this kind of gap up, put this on the 100 SMA. So that's going to be a little bit of a resistance. Again, we're going to watch this pretty closely on Tesla today. We don't have to take a trade, but it is a good gap. I can expect Tesla and some of the other markets to probably trade up into 120, 125, something like that. This will be an area where I'll be looking for a little bit of weakness, but obviously, again, we'll see what happens on earnings. It's going to be all earnings related anyway. So we will see what happens. But yeah, Tesla, definitely a nice gap. Very fun to see what happens there. Roblox is gapping up, but one of the weaker stocks out there, still not taking out the higher low of the day. But it is a bear candle gapping up. And if it opens above the open, then we can trade it in the first 20 minutes. Pretty easy rule. Talked about that a lot yesterday, and we'll keep a very close eye on it. But essentially, just like the last 2 days, I mean, everything is gapping in unison. And we're just waiting for the candles. We're just waiting for the setup. We're going to be patient. I'm not going to do anything too wild and reckless, but I have no problem. Like I mentioned yesterday and the day before, I have no problem going bullish, no problem going bearish. I'm very flexible. I am extremely poised to take advantage of whatever market move we get. And I'm quite excited about it. NVIDIA. So NVIDIA is gapping up. So again, this one did trade down to the 200 simple on the daily chart very nicely, interacting with that, and is brilliantly gapping up today. Again, above the high of yesterday. Inside candle bouncing off the 200. I know Leah went bullish on NVIDIA yesterday because she's a pro and she likes making money. The low of yesterday was exactly 220. And here's the high, 229.43. 229.43. So this is a very good gap up on NVIDIA. It is. So keep in mind, don't think that this gap is too big for us to go higher. It's not. We certainly can. Even though we are up 4%, we are trapping some bears, right? And we can continue to go higher. So we can gap up and we can run here. It's very possible. I'm not talking about just NVIDIA. I am kind of referring to essentially the whole market, right? Because the Qs is taking out the high of yesterday. Inside bear candle, right? A lot of people trapped. I do have some calls on the Qs and I do have some puts. I have more calls than puts. My calls are for February and my puts are for March. So, you know, I got more calls than puts. I'm going to hang on to those calls and probably try to trade them up into here, hopefully, around that area, sell those calls and use the profits from the calls to buy more March puts, as I expect most likely some type of potential rollover later in the future, but not immediately. Okay, so that's the Qs, right? Very nice gap. And then the SPY. SPY is also gapping up quite beautifully, I think. Quite beautiful. So all of this is essentially occurring from the Microsoft gap down. So Microsoft up at 305, up 15 points. It was down here last night. So we went from here all the way to here. So Microsoft is helping the actual overall market, mostly because it is essentially the second biggest company in the world, and it's mostly the NASDAQ, right? I mean, Microsoft is a huge, huge part of this. Mark says, do we need to be concerned about the Fed Chair Powell speaking at 2 p.m. Eastern? Yep. The trading room does close at 2, and we most likely will be out of all of our trades before 2 p.m. Eastern, I'm sure. So be a little flat on your day trades, and then swing trades, we'll see. Anything is possible after that. It's going to be a binary event. The big question is, are we going to really have a much larger move up after the Fed chair discussion? That's the big question. I don't know. I guess it depends on how high we are. Because the Qs are already up 2%, right? So, I mean, are they going to go up 4% on the day? I mean, they could. It's possible. It's happened before. It's pretty rare. But we trade up a little bit and then see what happens tomorrow. Yeah. Brian says BP looks good. Yep, BP is gapping. My buddy Robert Falco has a covered call at 32. Did you buy that covered call back, Falco, or are you still in it? I think you're still in it, but I don't know. He did not buy it back. Cool. Yeah, so British Petroleum hanging out, doing its thing. We did have a weekly options newsletter on ExxonMobil. Again, it might not fill. That's perfectly okay if it doesn't. Not a big deal. This was a really, really good 10 EMA play right here. Taking this candle. So if it gaps up and we fade down, great. This weekly options newsletter that I sent out to everyone does need to fill either today or tomorrow. If it doesn't, we're going to cancel it because I was going to look to sell this one on Monday or Friday for a profit. So it needs to fill today or tomorrow. Otherwise, we'll cancel that and just move on. No big deal. All is good there. There's going to be a lot of okay gap ups today. PayPal, I think, is a very, very good gap. Off the 200 simple on a weekly, down here at a decent level. This is also, according to my analysis, and this is just, again, technically an opinion, we've ended a wave 5. So we're at a nice level where we could certainly bounce on PayPal. We're here. We're down here. That was my level that I've been anticipating for a long time to bounce off of. Disney, kind of the same thing, right? Decent gap down there. So Disney, if you're looking at picking up 10 or 15 shares, buy low, sell high, Disney could work. Kay says, I'm long AMD and DraftKings. Cool. DraftKings up 7%. So it's gapping up. So yeah, it's gonna be a little bit of an interesting day. It'll be very fun to see how much some of these beaten down stocks rally. And then of course, if they rally too much today, then they're probably gonna get hosed tomorrow. So yep, we shall see what happens out there. Palantir, I mean, everything's gonna be gapping essentially. Pretty much almost everything's gonna be gapping up. So Palantir's gapping up, right? So there's gonna be some good day trading opportunities. Bros. So Dutch Brothers Coffee had a really interesting trap right here. So this is a very good support. We can kind of see that it broke through that support, trapping some people, and then had a little bit of a pop. Yes. All right. So Jay is watching this one for a short squeeze. He says it has a 22% short float. We did get triggered into a bullish swing trade, by the way, on our swing trade list. This is Travelers. So we are in this guy. And I don't know if it's going to hit a target today, but I will put it out there just in case. 1.2 right around 2 hours is 171.75. So we are in this. You guys should all be in this. This was a swing trade that we set up for free. Whatever the 24th was. I'm assuming that was Monday. So no reason for you guys not to be in that one. Was a beauty. Still looks pretty good. Good old 10 EMA strategy. Target on our TRV swing trade. Now, the other ones that we set up probably won't trigger, which is okay, right? Union Pacific is gapping up, so that might not go down, and that's okay. Right? Not the end of the world. If you have a trade set, I rather have a trade set up and just not trigger, you know. I'm game with that. And let's go look at gold. I want to know where the gold's at. Show me the gold. Gold retesting a little bit. It'll be interesting to see what happens with FOMC stuff, but this gap down might get bought up or overall trend. But yeah, gold's in just some type of huge. Look at this. I mean, just this is literally Elliott Wave Dow Theory 101. This is one of my favorite charts of all time. Just for from a learning perspective, I've made zero money off gold. Well, not zero money. I mean, I got some gold stuff laying all around my house, all around my office. Help me stay in abundance, right? So I bought some physical gold during this run up. I didn't make any liquid gold money, but this is a really nice just retest resistance. If we zoom out on a big picture, check out this monthly chart. Look at this thing. It's beautiful. Great run up, bang, 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 right? We're retesting all this resistance. We made new highs. We're pulling back. I mean, I like gold long-term anyway, you know? So big picture. I'm not afraid of it. It's just, it's going to be slow. You can always buy digital gold if you want, AKA fake currency, AKA Bitcoin. Got some nice hammers out there. We're going to peruse the crypto markets a little bit more in depth in about an hour, but it looks nice. All right. Cool deal. All kinds of fun things out there. All right. What else you guys got for me? Any questions, thoughts, concerns? Maxar got some put sales on Maxar. It's probably going to open up with the rest of the market. We don't have tons of time left, but I want to buy those back eventually. They're underwater presently, but I don't mind waiting and just letting Theta eventually and slowly do its thing. Although I'm not going to wait forever. Need to buy that back. I can. Okay, cool deal. By the way, does anyone live in Atlanta? The Atlanta peeps in the house. If anyone lives in Atlanta or near Atlanta, we will be in Atlanta February 20th through the 23rd. So just FYI, we have a trading retreat out there. If you want to come trade with us in person, make some money with us, eat out, nice dinners, donate some charity. Carl's coming. You coming, Carl? Nice, dude. All right, let's get it, baby. Yeah, so February 20th through the 23rd, let's hang out. Let's have fun, enrich some lives together, circulate some money, be amazing. Bunch of hugs and high fives. You know, Matt, we should probably change the name of our conferences to Hugs and High Fives. That's really all that happens at an RLT event. Mike says, do we need to be option pros for that retreat? You should know what an option is. Yeah, you should know what an option is. You don't have to be pros, but you should know what a call is and a put is. You should know how to use trading view, things like that. Like it's going to be advanced, meaning you're going to learn advanced material, but it's not, we're not going to sit there and help you. What's a broker? What's a limit order? You know, because in normal retreats, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to go through like the basics, but we're not going to talk about limit orders. And I'm just going to assume you know how to get in. But it's a valid question, man. I just want to hang out with you, everyone. That's what I want to do. I just want to hang out and have a good time. Raul says, just want to know about the swing trade room. I want to join, but don't have any time to watch since I'm at my day job. Is that session always recorded? Yes, that one is always recorded. Yep. Always recorded. And and in the event that I forget to record it, which has happened once or twice, I reteach it and then I send out that video. So, yeah, that's a good question. Raul, did that help? Jimmy Hughes says, hugs and high fives, meeting in Portugal for Europe. I'll be your host. Man, I can't wait to come to Portugal, dude. I've never been. I've been to Spain. Have you hung out with any of our traders in Spain yet, Jimmy? Make sure you email our boy, Dean at reallifetrading.com. Tell him that you want to connect with him. Jose is in Spain. Nice. So we have a bunch of traders in Spain, ironically enough, Jose. And Ian, yeah, there's my boy Ian. Here he is. Ian Buckley. So Ian Buckley's in Spain. We have tons of traders in Spain. So if you're in Portugal, if you're in Spain, you guys all get together and hang out. Email this guy, Dean, and have an amazing time. I was there back in June. I think it was June. All right, cool. What else you guys doing? Anything else? Anything else you want to look at? Let me know. I'm happy to review it. Meta something says Ethereum is almost up 8% today. Yeah, I'm not sad about that. It's up 7.8% right now. Broke above what I would call a really nice hammer. So beautiful, beautiful hammer. Tons of bear volume down here, breaking above that. So we're going to squeeze that out for a little bit. Probably pop back up to 3,000 and some change, and kind of go from there. Yep. Lorenzo says Kohl's and Activision. I'm bearish on those. I wouldn't be too bearish on those two, Lorenzo. Those two are buyouts, my man. Those two are buyouts. So they're not really going to do much specifically, because Kohl's essentially is getting bought out by a private equity deal, and then Activision essentially getting bought out by Microsoft. Now, it is going lower, which is really intriguing. And I don't really have any idea why. I mean, they've offered cash for the company. So I'm not saying you can't make money as they go down, but just be cautious. Don't be overly aggressive, because they shouldn't go down that much theoretically. So should be interesting. Jordan Fox wants to look at pets. Chris says, didn't they offer $95 a share? Yeah, dude. And it's I'm trying to figure out why it's below that. It's a weird thing. Pet Med Express. This has been a stock that I have sold puts on so frequently, I've actually forgot that it was still around. Let me put that on the list for Thursday. This is a stock I've sold many puts on in my day. Like true story. I've never gotten put shares of Pet Med Express. Pretty stable, dividend paying company, loves its long-term averages. I could probably sell a $25 put right now. Earnings are over. Yeah. I'll let it pull back down to here and I'll sell some puts probably at 20 for March. Good old Pet Med Express. CCL. Carnival Cruise Lines. Carnival's gapping up. I know Lucian has some shares of this one. He's been doing covered calls and just lowering his dollar cost average like a baller. The 100 simple on a weekly chart is 2054. It is gapping above there. So if it pulls back into that, right, you could buy the dip. I'm not extremely bullish on Carnival long term. I think it can go higher and eventually will. It's just going to do this for a while, but that's okay. I mean, it's a cheap stock, and with enough shares, you can make some serious money on it. Lucian says, I got one set up again this morning. Nice. I bet you're selling the 20 something up in here for February. I had to guess. 24 February. Nice. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, we got 30 seconds until market open. Robert says, I'll stick with the sexy junk bonds on Carnival versus shares. Get them, dude. First person's ever used the word sexy and the word bonds in the same sentence since 1943. Ford gapping up. Everything is gapping up. Nice retest. So buy the dip. All right, here we go. And I'm broke. All right, sorry. Let me mute. Thinkorswim. You guys will hear that those bells go off all day. All right. So we're gonna wait at least 3 minutes, but I will scroll through and just see and make sure everything did open. Yep, Delta. Delta opens. Apple opens. AMD opens. Tesla opens. Roblox still a little bit weak. NVIDIA opened. Qs and SPY. Okay. So relatively decent gaps out there. Again, certainly able to trade some stuff. We can, as they say, trade some things. Some things can be traded. All right, so back over to AMD. Looks, I mean, it's a pretty strong gap and go. Here's the 3-minute chart. So again, all we're doing right now, team, is we are waiting for a bear candle to close above on some of these charts. So waiting for some bears to kind of short this pressure and see if we can go long. That's essentially what we're waiting for. Chris says, closing your put hedges. I have more calls than puts. I bought some calls yesterday as we retested. I do have puts, but I don't really have that many. I have 5 put options and they all expire in March. So I'll hold those for now and I'll just hold my calls. Yep. Appreciate you asking, but I'm just going to chill on let it go a little bit higher and then buy some more. Tesla. So Tesla did open above the high of the day. We do have a little bit of resistance. This purple line is the 100 on the daily. Ron says, do you have Qs on the puts on the Qs? I do. March puts on the Qs. I have 3 right now. They are March 350 puts on the Qs. I only have 3. So I'm going to hold those for a little bit. All right, Roblox, again, just a smidge weak. NVIDIA, we'll see how it opens and how it holds, but again, we can easily go higher. We can also go lower. I'm just going to wait and just, essentially see what we get. Nah. Okay. 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 Nah. All righty. Leah says 960, strong resistance on Tesla. Yep, totally agree. So 960, this is the purple line right here. This is the pre-market high. This is also the 100 SMA on the daily. So again, we do have white candles gapping up into some resistance on the market. It is a strong gap. We can go higher. We can also go lower. I'm game for whatever. I'm just waiting for our signals right now. Not going to do anything too aggressive or too crazy. Just going to wait out the signals and see what happens. That's essentially what I'll be doing. Microsoft selling off a little bit at open, but just a tad really. TG says quick out on AMD and DraftKings for some small wins. Nice, TG. Well done. Matt DeLong says Tesla earnings are tonight. That is a true story. Factual statement. My boy DeLong just spitting facts out there. So Tesla earnings should be quite intriguing. Roblox is just deathly weak. NVIDIA. So again, team, we have tons of opportunities, just waiting for our setup. Remember, we got to get a close above both time frames or close below both time frames. This is Delta Airlines, probably one of my least favorite gaps, just because you had two huge buying candles in a row. Bethune says, thanks, Robert, for Tesla 600 put sale. That was free money. Dude. Not only was it free money, like it was gifted to you. Oh, man. That was crazy. Type in a 3 if you made some money off of that throw out. 600. So we have Matt M, we have Justin Maxwell, Methune, and Robert Falco. Okay, nice. Where's my 3? Let me throw in a 3 really quick. If Robert's selling puts on Tesla, I'm in 99% of the time. 99% of the time I'm in. Carl says plug is getting ripped. Plug gapping up, trading down a little bit. So here's what's interesting. I will say this. If we do gap up like we are right now, which is not bad, I actually really like this gap. I like the fact that we're selling off a little bit initially. That's good for the bulls, I think. If we trade down a little bit, so let's say we trade down some into, I don't know, 345 on the Qs. At around 2 o'clock or something, we get a nice rally out of there. That could be a really, really fun opportunity for a long chance. So yeah, some reversal plays. Exactly, Leah. Yep. So keep an eye on those. Don't have any fear of that. I like the fact that we're getting a little bit of selling. So these are some bears trying to push the market down, essentially. We'll see if they win or lose. But the 10 EMA strategy is a great one, and I'm just waiting it out. Be impatient, because remember, we got to get a bull candle closing below both time frames or a bear candle closing above both time frames. So if we have to wait, we have to wait. All good. It's helped us nicely in the last 2 days. And again, this strategy works extremely well about an hour or so after market open. We will get you taken care of on that. All right. Chris McCoy just booked his Croatia trip. So we have 2 less tickets, ladies and gents. 2 less tickets. Justin Maxwell says, I'm in also. All right. That means we have 3 less tickets. Maloney says, I miss Bear Jan. That was short-lived. Come on, Maloney. I'm pretty bearish. I'm just waiting for us to go a little bit higher first. We're just so low. I'll make a return. Don't worry. I'll come back. Let's just go let's go back up to like 366 or so on the Qs, you know? Let's go up a little bit. Yummy. Yeah. Okay. So as far as a bear now, I could definitely trade something bearish today. We just got to wait for bull candle to close below on both time frames. Roblox. The Qs. Spy. I'm just browsing right now, team. I'm just browsing. Robert says, are we going to have to wait a whole entire hour? Yeah, we might, man. Not because we have to, but just because we were waiting for that. We can trade a lot of trades right now. We're just waiting for the signal. We're allowed to do it. Got to get the layup. I'm still kind of sad I didn't trade Delta yesterday. That one's going to haunt me for another 40 hours or so, and then I'll get over it. Brody says, with gap ups, it's hard to find something in the first hour. Sometimes. It's definitely a waiting event, but not always. Trust me, you'll see it. When it happens, it'll happen. And you'll like it a lot. Yeah. You can get a really beautiful candle and we just keep on cranking. It's just this gap was a huge gap. Right? Maxar is up 2%, a whole market. I'm looking for like when individual stocks do it by themselves, Brody, that's when it's just classic. Because right now, I mean, everything is gapping, right? Everything. Intel's not really gapping that much. Travelers actually gap down. They're still compressing on that little beast. ExxonMobil gapped up. Marathon Oil chilling, but might be getting a Tinny May trading candle today. Leah says ExxonMobil is saving my portfolio. There you go. Good. PayPal, nice gap up on PayPal. Again, possible wave 5 extension off the 200 simple in a weekly, not too bad. Alibaba just can't catch a break. We did exit our K-Web swing trade for a small gain. I was pretty happy about that because we would have gotten stopped out for a loss. So this is we exited K-Web right in the middle of this day, right around there. So it was good to exit on that. Took a small win, nothing dramatic. It was a good 10 EMA play. I was hoping we'd hit the target. We had a nice move, but oh well. 3M. 3M is hanging out. Party City, are they still around? Wow. Party City is still in business. Impressive. They're up 3% today. DraftKings traded right into the 10. Fastly, this is Leah's favorite company. Up 3%. So Fastly just keeps getting absolute train housed. Twilio Twilio's still holding up okay, but this one needs some overall droppage as well, I think. Under Armour, Nike, Delta. So Delta I do like. There's a bunch of moving averages in the way on all kinds of different time frames. However, let's see if this candle closes bearish. 8:42. So we got 2 minutes. This was a trade that we did miss yesterday, or at least I mean, you guys didn't have to miss it, but I did miss it. So we'll see. All right. So who was asking about the stop earlier? I forget the person's name. It was a handsome devil, if I do say so myself. A handsome gentleman. It was Greg. All right, Greg. So if we're looking at a stop placement, let's practice it since this is the free beginners, the room. All right, would your stop loss go down here at 38.49? Would it go down here at 38.12? Or would it go approximately here at 39.05? Which one, if you had to guess? Which one, Greg? Type in that price and let's see if you can get it. All right. So Greg has an answer, and you are correct. Every stop can be used. We can use this one, we can use this one, and we can use this one. It depends on your risk profile. This is a better stop for a day trade. Much better stop for a day trade because it's below the 10 EMA, and that's really all you have to do. If you're getting in, you have to place your stop below the 10. These stops definitely can work, but they're just very, very far away. They probably work a little bit better for swing trades or trades you're looking at being days to a week or two. Pretty far away, especially for Delta. It just depends. Like if you're brand new to trading, you don't really want to get stopped out. You want to hold the trade a little bit longer and wait it out and do its thing. This could be an appropriate stop loss. Absolutely. Otherwise, 39.05 works. So let's do this. It's already moving past. So let me set up this on Delta. 39.49 by 39.05 on ticker symbol DAL. DAL day trade. So this is a 3-minute bear candle. There is a chance that we could retest this level. This is technically a retest gap on a 3-minute chart. So just keep that in mind. We could and very well might pull back into that price. All right, let me throw this out there, put this on Slack. Okay. And Delta. All right. So target 1 on Delta. Give me 3 seconds. Hunter says pull back into what price? It could pull back in 39.20. I'm not saying it will. I'm just saying if it does, I won't massively freak out. It's a possibility. So target 1, we're looking at these moving averages here, 39.80. That's the weekly 20 EMA. We should exit something there. Let me take these moving averages off. Let me take this one. Let me take this off right here. So 39.80, we should exit absolutely something at that location. Let's say a quarter. Chart I posted was Travelers. I hate when TradingView does that. It's been really annoying recently. Sorry, Mike. I copy it, and for some reason, it copies an hour chart ago. New personal day trade on Delta. Okay, let's see if that works. Got it. Okay. So we are following the plan on that one, right? Our stop is below the 10 EMA, which here's the 10, that red line. And our stop is also below a bullish candle, which is right here. So it meets the criteria. I will exit a quarter of our position at 39.80, and I'll exit the other quarter at 39.98 if we get there. Okay, cool deal. Next on the list, let's go look at Apple. So Apple's hanging out. AMD is hanging out. Tesla is hanging out. Roblox hanging out. Nvidia, nothing yet. Q's and the SPY. We'll see if they bounce. Right. Was a little bit of a gap up, and we're seeing if they're going to continue here, which again, they very well could. We will see. Cat, girl, anything for you. Come on. Pfizer, PFE. Let me pull up Pfizer here for a second. This is Pfizer on the daily. Pretty nice hammer. You would have to assume 2 days ago. That was the day that everything kind of tanked, right, on Pfizer. A lot of tankage. Nice little lower shadow right here. So good trap, nice hammer, good gap fill. Target probably 53.77 if you're doing a really, really quick swing trade. If you're gonna get into some puts on Pfizer, 54.38. You want that one to retrace a little bit more, I think, into more of those moving averages. Yeah, 54.58. 54.58. Yeah. Let's see where those long-term averages are. I think we're bouncing off the 100 too. Nope, not quite. Got very close to it. Got super, super close. All right. And since we can, there's no real reason why we can't look at the 5-minute chart on Delta. So here's the 5-minute chart. You can see we are above. This is the extended hours right here. You're above the 10, 20, and 50 on the extended. This is the non-extended, right? On the 5-minute, our 10 EMA is now above our stop loss, which is really what we want. It's kind of what we're looking for. It's a good thing. 15-minute chart, again, extended hours. You're above the 10 to 20, and you're almost above the 10. So 39.80 will be a target for a quarter of our position. I don't know if we're going to get up there, but if we do, that's where I'll sell a quarter of our shares, and then we'll move the stop, and then we'll just kind of manage it from there. That's our trade on Delta. This is Apple. And Apple right now is really struggling. Q's are hanging out. SPY is hanging out. NVIDIA. All right. So nothing really else other than Delta. Camila says, what's your thoughts on Alcoa? Great question. So I was checking out Alcoa yesterday. I haven't looked at it in a very long time. My initial thoughts are this. It's really high. Let's look at this on a monthly chart. This is the monthly time frame on Alcoa. It's gone from $6 to $62. It's up 1,000% in the last year. That's a lot. So we are really out of resistance. Like we can go a little bit higher, but you're probably going to want to, I assume, get into a collar, protect yourself up here, lock in little gains, something. If you're going to play it bullish, be in and out relatively quick. Try to buy it as low as you can. I wouldn't do a lot of aggressive breakouts. But try to buy as low as you can and sell as high as you can. Just be quick about it because it's really on the high side. And those are my thoughts. Champion. Champion. All right. Daniel says, what's your advice on GLW? I thought on the weekly it looked like a nice retest. A good gap. GLW, really nice 100 SMA on the weekly. Looks like a great retest. I fully agree. Old resistance, new support, pulled down to that 100 simple. Today was a gap on earnings. Monthly chart looks clean, really clean. So yeah, on this gap up, buy the pullback, buy the dip. It's a really good gap. Let me put down the list for Thursday. All right, on the list for Thursday, and we will check it out. I like it, Daniel. High five. Mark says, are you still trading Upwork? Bear candles above the 3 for the moving average EMA trade. I'm out of all my Upwork position as of right now. I exited my shares on this day, and I bought all of my puts on this day. So I did sell my shares for, I think, a $13 loss, and I sold all of my puts literally 2 days ago on Upwork for a 12-hour win. I still do have Square in a long-term account. Yep, Square is fully hedged, and I have sold some puts on Square when it hit the 200 simple on a weekly, and I use the money from those put purchases to buy more shares. So my cost basis right now on Square is about 170-ish. So definitely down on it. But it's in a long-term account. I only have about $30,000 in Square. So I'm just letting it do its thing, and we're going to see what it's going to do. Slowly adding to it. But what I would like for it to do, Leah, is reclaim this 200 and make some higher lows, and I'll start adding a little bit more aggressive. I do dislike dramatically the name change. I'm really not a big fan of that. I think it's really, really dumb. But I mean, as far as a company, I think that's quite a great company. Kind of the same thing with PayPal. I mean, I like PayPal. I really like it at this spot. Matt says they're trying to get closer to blockchain. Yeah. Yep. So again, Chris Davidson says we're always going to call it Square. I agree. Just like Facebook and just like Alphabet. I'm never going to call Alphabet Alphabet. I'm going to call it Google. Fiverr, yeah. I mean, I use Fiverr and I use Upwork. I like Fiverr on this pullback, but again, if I was buying it, I'd be buying very, very small size. You never pick the bottom. So I came out with a video not too long ago about what's the difference between catching a falling knife and buying the dip, and how do you do both. And so this is knife territory. Knife territory for sure. So if you're buying Fiverr, which I'm not afraid of or against, I would just do so with tiny little bits and bytes. 5 shares a week or something like that. Harold says, can you share the link of that video? Let's pop over to our YouTube channel. Buying the dip versus catching a falling knife. Bang. There we go. Look at that. There you go, my man. Hope you dig it. I think it was a good video. By the way, Robert, you know what I noticed about YouTube is they show the up likes, but they don't show how many down likes anymore. Isn't that kind of cool? So like when I pull up a video, I can't. You're ridiculous, dude. Oh, Robert says seriously. Oh, that's for real? Oh, wow. I did not know that. That's serious. That's where we are in life, huh? Dang. That's where we are. That's how we've made it. That's what we've made it. Oh boy. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. UMP graked out again. We'll probably cancel that swing. In fact, I can essentially cancel that now. This was a swing trade that we had on UNP. Again, I didn't think it was going to trigger, and it doesn't like it will. I have it on the list for Thursday, but let me just pop over here to the swing trade list and cancel UMP. Okay. So Delta right now, it's not working. Again, target 39.80 for a quarter. So far it looks okay. We'll move our stop in the not too distant future if we want to. All right, Apple. Apple still looks ironically a little weak. Kind of weird. All right, AMD. AMD is a possibility, and Tesla is a possibility. Okay. So which ones do I want to choose? We're already in one trade right now that's working. So I want to take another one and give away the money that we're making right now on a possibility. You know, I think I'll just let everything play out and we'll just hang on to Delta for a second to see if Delta can keep working. Because this is I think a good learning lesson. And again, we're not up a lot. I realize that on Delta. I fully understand that. But here's the truth. Let's say I take another trade now and lose. Right? I lose an R, which is fine. That's going to happen. But let's say I do that and I exit this trade. I end up making, I don't know, 0.4 Rs on this, and I have a negative day. When in reality, I'm winning on this trade right now. Let's say we win on this trade and don't take another loser. Then I'm up 0.4 Rs ish or something like that. One of those, a bird in the hand's better than two in the bush, something like that. Or whatever. Some kind of weird saying. So I guess essentially what I'm getting at is I think my plan on this one is I'm going to wait for something else. I'm going to see if Delta can work. I'm going to see if I can move our stop or if I can at least get this target and then move the stop and then kind of go from there. Because if we win on Delta, let's say again, hypothetically, I win 0.6, I can know then how much to risk on my next trade or how far I should put my stop or so on and so forth. Clive says the mark of a really good trader is the ability to sit on their hands. This is true. Brian says, how many 3-minute candles do you wait before you look to exit via trade not working as you thought? It's about 7 or so. It's about 7. Now, could you take Tesla? Absolutely. Tesla works. What if you're not in Delta? Could you take Tesla setup? Yep, you could. Could you take Roblox? Yep, you could. Both of them are giving you a signal. So AMD is giving you a signal. Roblox is giving you a signal. They probably took that in the beginner room. Let me see if anyone over there is taking anything in the beginner room. Nope, not yet. Donna says, can you please explain your toolbar on the right? The circles, are they shortcuts? And how do I make that happen? My toolbar on the right. Where? Toolbar on the right. Oh, these guys? Talking about that? Yeah, we can definitely send you a video on creating templates in TradingView. We have all kinds of free videos to help people from all around the world. Yeah, champion. Let's go get it. All right. Okay, give me just a few seconds. Let me see. Kelvin says, Apple, when can we trade? So Apple, if you're looking at trading Apple, Kelvin, really easy strategy, right? We just got to wait for a bear candle to close above both time frame moving averages on a 3-minute chart. We haven't gotten that yet. Right, so I guess just wait until that happens, and we'll see. Delta just kind of compressing again, target 39.80 for a quarter. We'll eventually increase our stop, not in the too distant future. Tesla, really nice bounce. Pedro says I got 1.71 R's on Roblox. Nice. Let's open Roblox for Pedro. Good trade, Pedro. Good work, man. Got to feel good to get that win. Jenny got 1.4 R's on Tesla. Throw in your chart, Jenny. I think that's fantastic. Well done. Joe says, I'm having difficulty finding the 10 EMA closed in TradingView like you have it set up. It gives me 2 lines with 1 pivot. Find the 10 EMA close in TradingView. Sorry, man, I'm not entirely sure what you're asking, but the 10 EMA, I mean, it's just one moving average, right? This is the only thing I have on the screen. It's just one red line. To find it, just go to templates and type in moving averages, moving average, and just select exponential and then make it the 10. That's it. That's all you have to do. Good news is it's real easy. Jack says, sorry, Jeremy, logging off to drop the kids off school. All right, man, take care. DZ Batista says, can you show SPY trade with weekly options? So I'm not in a SPY trade personally right now at all myself. But if you're trading weekly options on the SPY with the 10 EMA strategy, I'm assuming you're getting in probably around here with a stop loss around here. So you'd be doing 442 calls expiring probably today, right? I mean, because SPY has options expiring now 3 days a week. So 442 calls. Yeah, January 26th. Wow, they are pricey. $4. So you be buying them at 350 with a stop at 250. That's it. So 442 calls expiring today. You'd be buying them probably at 350 with a stop at about 250. There's $1 of risk. All right. Divide that by your risk unit, whatever your risk unit is, and that's how many contracts to buy. This stuff is so easy, and I love it. Qs getting a little bit of a bounce. We'll see how much higher the Qs go. Let me just go look at Microsoft and see what Microsoft's up to. Microsoft did trade down a little bit to the 10. This is the 3-minute chart right here on Microsoft. It's just kind of hanging out. Rob says, traded Apple bearish, immediate fail. Sorry, man. I don't see any setup on Apple yet for a bear trade. Didn't get a bull candle closing below both moving averages on both time frames. But sorry, man. Yeah, Apple is a little bit of a tougher one to trade bearish. That I do agree with wholeheartedly. So we have been in this trade now 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 candles. We are allowed to move the stop. All right, we got in at 39.49. We're only up 6 cents. It's a very small trade. Let me look at this on a little bit of a bigger time frame. Let's do it on the 5-minute chart. 5 minute. Okay. I'm going to give this 3 or 4 more minutes and see if this moving average can press this up a little bit more. I'll move the stop up. I don't think we're going to hold Delta an extremely long, much longer than we are right now. It's just taking its sweet, sweet time to do something bullish. Now, again, this is the daily chart. We are buying it, as you guys can see, above all the daily moving averages. So those can and are acting right now as a support. Jenny says, I played Tesla with options. So let's zoom into Jenny's trade. So Jenny says she bought the 940 call. This is on I think this is a 1 minute chart, 1 or 2 minute chart. Nicely done, Jenny. So you can see that rotation, right? She bought the dip, 940 call, placed a stop loss, got out the new high. Killer. Good job, Rockstar. Way to play. Way to be a hero. Brian says, off topic, I read your book, Jay. Good teaching and different way to look at money. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that, dude. That is very kind of you. Michael says, for Apple, is it best to still stay away from, since it puts in a bear candle? It already put one in 4 candles ago on the chart without pre-market. No, you don't have to stay away from it. We're just waiting for a bear candle to close above the 10 EMA on both time frames, and that has not happened yet. So you can continue to wait if you want on Apple. Patience is a virtue, ladies and gentlemen. AMD kind of chilling, Roblox. So what a great spot to exit Roblox, right? That new high of day. Always a good spot to exit on a bullish trade. So if you got in here with a stop there or something like that, I mean, you had to exit something there, if not all of it, just because it's right there at that new high. Pedro says, yep, uff. Yeah, man, good. Dude, you got your 1.7. That's incredible. Jared says, what is the second time frame you're using for the 10 EMA strategy? I'm just using the 3-minute chart, man. That's it. 3 minutos. Trace minutos. Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you would like the copy of the PDF to use for your rules, we provide that entirely complimentary. Our mission here at Real Life Trading is to enrich lives. So make sure to pop over to reallifetrading.com, click on My Account, log in, and you can get a copy of this PDF totally on the house. Just scroll down to free resources and click on this right here, and you'll get the PDF that you can print out and read it and learn it. Very, very easy, super simple, hard to mess up. Brody says, did you sell your Delta trade yet? Nope, hasn't hit my target. I'll let you know when I sell it. Hasn't hit my target yet. Jared says, thank you. What are you talking about when you keep saying it must close above both time frames? Good question, Jared. So this, my friend, is one time frame. This is another time frame. You'll notice this has the extended hour chart on. So let me just zoom out a little bit so you can see that, Jared. Are you able to notice how there's tons of other candles here and there's nothing over here? So this one is the extended hours chart, and this one is the non-extended hours chart. So you were looking for a bear candle to close above the moving average on both charts. Right here and right here would have been your setup on NVIDIA. So if you guys are playing NVIDIA, congratulations. The entry would have been there. Entry would have been right there. Stop would have been either, again, you get to choose the red line, or your stop loss, a little bit more conservative, would have been here at the purple line. Again, your pick. John says the confusion is both are the same time frames. Got it. I'll do my best, John, from here on out to say both charts rather than both time frames. I apologize for any confusion, ladies and gentlemen. Very sorry. Clive says, for all of you having trouble sitting on your hands, you need to remember that it is Fed day and the market will not be a trend day until after the meeting. Maybe. It's trending pretty well right now. But it's going to be a good idea to definitely peel off some profits if you're really profitable going into the meeting. That I definitely agree with. Certainly do agree. And again, good job, Jenny. Ladies and gentlemen, you can see where Jenny sold her her position on Delta on Tesla. Right. So if you're always wondering when do you sell, the answer is at new highs. Right. That's the S curve. Boom, boom, boom. Buy low, sell high. Standard, easy, clean, simple. All right. On Delta, let's move our stop loss. And if it doesn't make a new high in the next 7 minutes, I will bail. Delta does not make a new high in the next 7 minutes. Let's bail for a small win. That'll be the plan on Delta. And just in case something weird happens, I will move my stop. So give me 3 seconds. All right. So stop loss. That's the old one. This is the new one. Okay. I'll put that into our Slack channel. Update on Delta day trade. Update on Delta day trade. Walter says, how about playing that NVIDIA candle with a daily option? Weekly option, Walter. But yep, you could easily do that, man. I trade weekly options all the time. I love them. They're great. I'm a big fan. Big fan. All right. So stop 39.15. Come in here and move my stop. Come on, Delta. Let's pop, baby. Flip and go up. Hunter is asking a question. Hunter, you're the same Hunter in North Carolina? Just want to make sure. No, that's you. Okay. Hunter says, so wouldn't it make sense for Delta to pull back a bit more on a retest before going much higher? It hasn't really retested that much. I don't know, man. We'll see. This is a retest, so I guess we'll find out. I'm waiting. I'm being patient. We've been in the trade now since 8:45, 30 whole minutes. If it's going to work, it's going to work. If it doesn't, it's not. So here's your 5-minute chart, right? So the 10 EMA is right there on the 5-minute, 39.42. It could pull back to that level. I don't necessarily want it to, but it could. Chris says, what rule was used for moving your stop on Delta? All right, Chris wants to get a preview of the PDF. Yeah, man. Let's do it. Opening it up, the trade PDF for the 10 EMA. Rule number 12, can only move stop every 21 minutes. And there we go, Chris. Bing, bong, boom. I love it. How easy, right? Isn't this stuff simple? Having a plan and following it. I am a fan. I'm in for that. Roblox, NVIDIA, Qs, and SPY. Oh, I forgot when I said that. Give me a second. When did I post that into here? 9:14. All right, you better go, Delta. That's the cutoff, that little blue line. Anything else you guys are interested in checking out? Jordan Fox says, can you look at the SQQQ? So that's just an inverse of the QQQ. Right? So if you're looking at going long on this, you want a bear candle to close above the 10 EMA on a 3-minute chart, which we haven't gotten yet, and then go long above that candle. That's it. That's all you got. So again, if you're going to go short on the SQQ, which is long on the QQQ, you wait for the bull candle to close below the 10, which you got a few over here. You got this one, you got that one. So you could have shorted there, stopped there, or if you shorted this with a stop here, you got to exit something there, and you probably got trailed out there for a small loss, most likely. Jordan says, I am currently in a profitable swing trade on the SQQ. Nice. Beautiful, dude. I'm sure you sold something right there, that new high. So good for you, man. Looks nice. If the market goes down, that will go up. The trade desk, TTD. Pretty decent gap up. But again, it looks like everything else, right? The whole market's gapping up today. Pretty much everything. So yeah, the trade desk is gapping and looks like everything else. Someone's asking about Shopify. Hunter Clark is going to win a prize for the most questions today. Says, wouldn't Shop be a great candidate for some long-term options at this level? This zone has resulted in a lot of liquidity for over a year. It's a good candidate. I don't know if I would say great candidate. Because again, for options, man, this is just my opinion. I could be entirely wrong. But when it comes to options, for me, I don't really want to pick the bottom of a trend with an option. Right? So if the trend is increasing and we're bullish and we're above all the averages, I'm more inclined to play options at that point, something like over here, over here, over here. But when we really are just below everything, I'm not saying it can't go higher. I'm certainly saying I generally don't like to pick the bottom of downtrends with options. Yep. So plus, I mean, Shop's pretty pricey. So like if you're buying a call option down here, a long-term call, like you better got some bank. Now, a better question is, could you play a quick short-term option, like trade up into here and, you know, boom, boom, sell it into there? That's definitely doable, but yeah. Robert says it could chop around for months and eat away at your premium. This is true. All right, here's the good news. Delta did make a new high. It listened to us, and it did it right when it was supposed to. 39.80 is our target for a quarter. We will see if it hits that. So far, it hasn't, at least not yet. But if it does, sweet. If it does, we can celebrate a little bit, and then we'll be able to increase the stop and come up with another target and go from there. Greg, that's a good question. Greg says, are you concerned about the average trading range for day trades? Absolutely. Yeah, the average trading range or average true range is something I definitely want to keep in the back of my mind. This is a pretty easy indicator to find too, Greg. So if you go into indicators and type in average true range. So this is saying $1.44 for Delta. So that means from the low to the high should be about $1.44. It's the average range. So the low is 38.95. The high is 39.79. So right now, again, presently, we haven't quite hit $1 yet. So we have more room to go if we wanted to, right? Ultimate target would probably be, well, essentially $1.44 from where we are now. Well, not from where we are now, but from the low. So we do have more room that we could go. Yeah. It's a great question. But I've looked at all the stocks that we use a lot, and I kind of generally know their average true range. Tesla is a 60. $60 average true range. So yeah, Apple is 442, AMD. Brody says, do you include the gap with the average true range? That's a good question, man. I've read some books on that, and I haven't really gotten an awesome answer that I'm completely satisfied with. I've heard yes, I've heard no. I've back tested them. Generally, the gap is included in the average true range. Yep, generally. All right, so just an FYI, we have so far missed our target by 1 penny on Delta. So if we do that for a little bit longer, we'll have to increase that target. And if we're talking from the close of today to the high of right now, this is $1.03. So we still have 40 cents we could go according to the average true range on Delta. Darren says just got out of BNTX. BNTX. I got 1.5 hours using the 10 EMA strategy this morning. Thanks for teaching such a straightforward and powerful strategy. Oh, dude, you're super welcome. Let me see how we would have played this if I was playing this with you. Looks like you might have gone long, potentially there on a pullback and sold there at resistance or after 3 bull counts in a row. Nicely done, man. Good work. Rinko says, does the 10 EMA apply to FX and index trading too? Yeah, you can use it. I haven't back tested it extensively, Rinko, so you probably want to practice a little bit. But yeah, man, you can use it on essentially anything. So again, so far we've missed the target on Delta by a penny. I really don't want a full reversal because we did trade to the pre-market high. Again, this is the weekly 20. I'm not going to allow it to go really nicely green to red. Let me just go look at the weekly 20 to make sure I got it close to correct. The weekly 20 technically should be 39.88. Let me see if that's the same over here. Dividends. Does that matter? No. Okay. So that really shouldn't matter. Apple bearish, you guys are saying. Okay. Let me pop over to Apple. Yep. As the first time we're getting a bull candle closing below. You guys are also saying AMD. Again, we don't have to take every trade, every signal. Delta is still trying its best to do a little bit of work. The main concern I have about on Apple right now is just this guy here. Right? We'd be shorting essentially out of support. Let me just give it a few more minutes. I'm not saying it's not a good trade. It absolutely could be a good trade. Let me just give it a little bit more time. AMD is close. Let's see if this can close below and get a bull candle here, and we'll keep an eye on it for sure. All right, the low of this candle is 39.61. This is 39.53. So I really want to put my stop right below the low of that candle for a 2 penny gain. So this is the 5-minute. This is the 5-minute chart. I'm just looking at just to look at it. Gustavo says, can you please explain again the setup for the Delta trade? Sure, man. Bear candle, closing above the 10 EMA. Bear candle, closing above the 10 EMA. That's it. Entry above, stop below. That is it, my man. So right now what I'm doing is I'm looking at the 5-minute time frame. Just to see if I want to move my stop a little more aggressively. Because again, we did miss our target by a penny, which I wouldn't mind if we hit the target and we start to rest, because I know for a fact we're going to lose super, super small. We did trade to the pre-market resistance. Here's the 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart's forever away. Back to the 5. Too bad by a penny. That's always lame. I don't really want it closing below here. Let me just pop over to the SPY and the Qs. Yeah, SPY and the Qs, a little bearish. The Qs actually, again, we're not specifically day trading the Qs, but you could have right here on the Qs, Apple and AMD. All right. So we can set up AMD right below the low, stop right here. And then let's exit Delta for 2 penny win. Exit DL for 2 cents. So go ahead and just take the small win on that one. Exit Delta for 2-cent gain. It's essentially break even, really. I just don't really love how it's continuing to pop around like that. And it came all the way back from missing a target by a penny. John says that's called getting your 2 cents worth. Exactly. Ain't that the truth, man? Ain't that the truth? Because again, missing that target by that amount and it just full on reversing, it's not really what you'd want. Back to the Qs. Okay, and then back over to AMD. Wow, that forms with an inside candle. Oh my gosh. All right. AMD. Day trade. This is going to be a bearish one. Again, might not trigger, and if it triggers, it might not work. Right? Doesn't have to. Do either one of those things. Doesn't have to trigger and doesn't have to work. But if it does, it's not bad. Okay, so this is 113.11 and stop loss 114.37. Stop limit 114.37. Right. So right now it appears it's kind of bouncing on AMD, but that's okay. I mean, like I said, we haven't gotten triggered in yet. We're not in yet at all. We will essentially let it do its thing and rock and roll from there. Brody says if it closes back above the 10 EMA, will you cancel it? Yes, if it fully gets back above and really closes. That's a great question, Brody, but yeah. Indeed. Indubitably, sir. All right, so we'll scoot that up. Delta again got out for the 2-cent win. Just missed our target by a penny. That's going to happen ever so often. It's pretty annoying when it does happen, but it has happened before. Now, granted, also, this is 5 bear counts in a row. So expect, I mean, essentially some pop in here in just a second. Because, generally you're not going to get that large of a sell off. All right. AMD is set up. Apple, again, I'm just not going to short Apple right at that support team. Yes, there's a 10 EMA strategy on Apple, but I mean, it's if you short it, it's literally you're shorting it right where he's bounced before, just seconds ago. AMD is like, if it takes this out, like it's going to fill that gap a little bit more. And again, the setup was even better, right? 2 hammer candles kind of back to back. It's kind of beautiful. Roblox is a possibility here. Let's see if this candle can close bearish. We're definitely getting plenty of action today. Elvis says, when back trading, do you use the extended hours chart or the regular hours? Both. You're going to want to practice on both. For sure. Cat says, I missed my Pfizer entry. Oh, oh man, you must have missed it by a penny, literally. Sorry, Cap. That's mean. That's uncalled for. That's really unnecessary. That's just so mean. Dang. Okay. Day trades. Any questions out there, team? So far, we're doing great. I love all the questions that are coming in. Got a lot of traders who've been here in the trading rooms a few times. So thrilled and excited to have you back. Brian says, curious on why you use black and white candles, just preference. Yeah, man, that's really it. I wish there was a cooler reason. I do wish there was a cooler reason, but there's not. I just practice studying them, and yeah. Roblox set up bullish. Almost. Now, again, if we're cutting hairs here, obviously this is close enough, but it technically did close below the moving average. We want to close above. But again, I mean, if you're splitting hairs, you want to get in, you can. 67.36 would be the entry, but I'll wait for right now. See if we get another trade set up. Benjamin says, what's your stop loss on AMD? Our stop loss, Ben, on AMD is 114.37. What do you guys think? Again, there's well over 300 people here right now. Do you feel like I'm giving you plenty of time to at least get into a trade, understand why you were in it? Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Because I know a lot of trading rooms and a lot of people out there, that's one of the biggest complaints I've gotten in the past, not from RLT ever, but from just other institutions or other places. Like, hey, man, like I get into a trade. All I'm doing essentially is just watching people make money and listening to their hype. And I'm never actually getting into the trade. And I don't understand what they're doing or why they're doing it or where they're getting in. And I've been in 400 different trading rooms in my trading career. And that's kind of my goal, is to help everyone understand and see and feel and play and have tons of notice before we get into a trade. Not that we're going to make money on every trade, but I just simply want you all to know why we're doing everything. That's really it. That's going to be the goal. Brody says, why would you want to move your entry on AMD? No, I really want these candles, these lows to get taken out. That's kind of what I'm looking for. Delta short. Now, that's a great question. We did get a close below the 10 EMA. I could short Delta. Again, we got out for a 2-cent win. Sure. Let's do it. Juan says, what's the target for AMD? 1.2 Rs. All right. So Delta, putting that link in the chat pane. Make sure that's, I said AMD. Oh gosh, give me 1 second. The challenges of doing all this at the same time of everything else. Is this breaking through? Honestly, 39, 36. Yep. New personal day trade on Delta. Malago Fellini says, what brokerage do you use for day trading? I'm using Thinkorswim. TOS is what I'm using. $39.36. All right. Got Delta open. Target is going to be really right about here. Right at that 1.2 Rs ish. UPin says, I see you're setting up in TradingView. Does it trigger in TOS? No, I'm doing TOS in the background. Yep, whole other screen. So here's my TOS charts right here. So this is the AMD trade, and this is the Delta Airlines trade. Type in a 7 if you guys can see that. So make sure. Okay. So I got 11,000 shares short to trigger in on Delta and 2,500 on AMD. Okay. Kaylee says, Jeremy, strangely, my 10 EMA and TradingView is different than yours by pennies. I don't know why that is. If I had to assume, it's probably a moving average and not an exponential moving average. It's the best guess that I got. So I might just want to check, make sure it's an EMA and not a SMA. Well, the extended hours, it wouldn't matter because we have both of those charts, right? We have the EMA extended and non-extended. I don't think the adjusted for dividend chart will change anything on a 10 EMA. It shouldn't. That's also another good question. Do you subscribe to real-time quotes? That could also be a very valid point. So make sure you are subscribing to live paying data. Yep. So one of those two. If you're not paying for data, that's why it's different. All right, Squadrini. So here's the Qs and here's the SPY. So I mean, if we kind of break down a little bit, that'll be slightly intriguing. I don't know if that's going to cause Delta to go down or not, but always wait and find out. All right. So the Qs are breaking down. And there's Delta. Thomas says Jeremy took all the shares. Oh, dude. There was 54,000 shares in this. You got plenty. Plenty. All right. So this is the overall setup. Again, we'll see if it does anything intriguing, if it works. I don't know. Well, also, if you're not in, leave it open. See if it pulls back. If you're not in, it might retest. And AMD just triggered. Okay. AMD triggered. Wow. So this is going to be a busy day. I don't know if we're going to be able to get 1.2 on AMD. I mean, that's obviously, that'd be a great goal. That'd be a pretty massive drop in the market. I think we're probably just going to try to go for one-ish, which is essentially the gap fill. 112.20. I'd be pretty happy with that. We're also going to be able to lower our stop most likely on AMD in the not too distant future. So let's just throw this in here for right now. Target on AMD. We can always change it or adjust it. And keep in mind, there is an FOMC discussion today. So at some point, we're going to want to be out of some of these trades. I don't know if, I mean, I like the trade on AMD. I'm in it. It's a really decent close, and the Qs are kind of slightly on the weaker side. A little. So we will get to see what happens. So it's at 112.20. Okay. Donna says, which put would you buy on the Delta trade? It's a good question. This expiration, $40 strike. This week, $40 strike. AMD, same answer. This week, 113 strike. So just at the money. Also, if anyone is really intrigued about day trading weekly options, we do have a really, really cool day trading weekly options course. So let you guys know, it's really, really useful. If anyone here does day trade options and you want more info on option day trading, we can certainly provide that to you. I teach the class. I think it's really good. I use it the way I trade all the time. I'm a big fan. So if you day trade options or you want to day trade options, or specifically if you want to make a lot of money day trading, I highly suggest that program. It's worth your investment. Jordan says, is there a video breaking down how to use your trade journal effectively? Maybe it's my newbiness to documenting trades. It's a good question, man. I mean, I don't think there's a class on it. If there is, I wouldn't know how to teach it. I just fill it out. You know, it's like right here. So this is the same journal. You guys have access to this in your free resources, by the way. You know, so you just, I don't know, you put in the date and then the ticker and then your entry and then your stop loss, and it will pre-calculate all this for you. And then you put in your entry and then your exit, and it'll pre-calculate all that for you. And then you put in your chart. So all you're doing is just putting in the numbers of where you got filled. Right. So for example, on AMD, so we can type in the numbers right now. So AMD. We are 113.11. So you type in 113.11. That's the entry. Stop loss is 114.37. So you type in 114.37. It'll pre-fill that for you. You can choose the strategy if you want to. We got filled at 113.11. We haven't exited yet, so no reason to put that. And then to copy and paste the chart, you just come up here to the little camera icon, click on the camera and click copy link to chart image, and then post that in the notes section. And boom, you're done. Then whenever you exit, you fill it out. Jordan says it's that easy. I was making it far more complicated. Hey, no worries, man. That's my goal in life, is to make your life easier for trading, my brother. But yeah, it is, I think pretty easy. But again, I'm not an Excel specialist by any means. So don't hold me at gunpoint and make me fill out your trading journal for you. It should be easy, but you know. All right, so we are getting some bull candles out there, and we'll see if those candles break down. I don't know if they will or not. AMD technically 112.82, 112.8. We did make a little bit of a new low on AMD. In 21 minutes, I'll be able to lower the stop to about 114.16, and our target right now is 120.20. Ron says, can you post the recent chart setup for Delta? Yep. There you go. And for, again, anyone who thinks that joining RLT would be conducive to you financially, we also post all the charts here in the Slack journal as well. So you have the capability of placing and setting everything up there pretty adequately. Lorenzo says RLT is just awesome. Thanks, man. I appreciate it, bro migo. Inexplicable says, do you also post your QQQ swing trades that you mentioned this morning? I'm still working on posting all of the personal trades that I take. I could take a lot of trades. I'm not able to post every single trade that I take all the time instantaneously, immediately, but I try my best. But I will tell you all verbally always what I'm taking, so you'll always know what I'm taking. That's the good news. Let's skip to the good part. Bow, bow, bow. Bow, bow, bow. Come on, AMD. Go down. All right. Moving this over here. Updating this. Yeah, Delta. We definitely want Delta to take out that bull candle at some point. Weekly and daily 10 EMA is about 39.13. So again, I'm not entirely sure how low this will go, but we shall see. And AMD, I mean, this is really the best case scenario you could ask for, is taking out that bull inside candle right there. That's, you can't ask for much more than that, really, as far as the setup goes. Esteban says thoughts on playing earnings for Apple. So generally, app earnings are a binary event, right? So it's a coin flip. They're gaps up or gaps down. No one really ever knows which one's going to do. If you're in shares long term, great. Probably hold them. It's bouncing off the 100. I assume that Apple is going to gap up and trade down a little bit. If I had to make a guess, they're going to crush earnings. Obviously, they're going to do really well. And yeah, if you're in long term, just stay in. Otherwise, I mean, playing it just over earnings, no, I don't really have any setup or strategy for that. Like, hey, let me get in. I only want to get on over earnings. I don't have a system or approach for that one. Carl says I'm up 3.86 R's today, thanks to RLT psychology, beginner and advanced classes in the day trading strategy. Life changing. Nice. Heck yeah, Carl. Well, thanks for being here, man. That's amazing. Congratulations. I'm glad I had some part in that. I mean, obviously, you know that you are 99.9% of that equation, right? You had to study, you had to put in the work, you had to do the time, you had to put in the energy, you had to place the trades. So congrats, man. Big props. Big props. All right, Delta. If you're not in Delta, you could probably increase your entry to 39.38. Take 2 pennies off. It was going to fill there. Saying you probably could. Hunter says, isn't that just a little bear flag on Delta? I hope so. Yeah, man, I hope so. I mean, a little bit of a breakdown. Hope it's a bear flag. I can say this, if we go to the 3-minute chart and we turn on all the moving averages, we're below the 10 to 20. Still got time to go to the 50. Turn the 5-minute chart on, we're below the 10. We're bouncing off the 20. But if we break down below the 20, we should go down to around the target. We still have a lot of time. And obviously the 10 EMA on the 15, we're above it. So we'll see. But I think we can lose less than R on this one. That's the hope, at least. AMD kind of chopping around. But we are below all the moving averages on AMD on the 5-minute, 10, 20, and 50. Tesla making a little bit of a new low, kind of. Roblox, NVIDIA, Qs, and SPY. George says, Jeremy, are we still of the mind we have more downside in overall markets? Yeah. My thought is, George, and again, it's not going to happen immediately. I absolutely think we're going to trade back up to here-ish. Let's call it 365. This is on the Qs. I think that's very, very possible we get back up to here. Yeah, so that's extremely possible. I will not be surprised at all if that happens. And then we can get a little bit of a rollover. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so to pop over to Delta, getting filled on this. This is a pretty massive candle. Obviously, it looks like we might get stopped out, but I will say this. This is obviously not looking like it's working, right? So if we don't get stopped out, which is, I mean, it's likely, and we go back to the entry, we'll need to exit and take a super small win because the trade is going against us so quickly. We're getting pretty much like a lightsaber. Looks like we're just bouncing off the 10 EMA on the 15, which it's a strong moving average. We'll see if it goes lower. Maybe not. AMD, we'll be able to lower the stop here and another candle or two. We'll probably put it at 114.18. Apple's hanging out. Tesla. There's some interesting support level here on Tesla right there. So that's going to be unique and fun and slightly entertaining, probably. Roblox is hanging out. NVIDIA's hanging out. Q's is hanging out. And SPY's hanging out. So I'll keep everyone updated and abreast on Delta. But again, at this stage with this type of candle, if we get back down below our entry, which is going to be a big if at this point, that's where I'll be lowering the stop and I'll be looking to get out for a very, very small gain if we get that opportunity. AMD, again, I'll be lowering the stop loss and this one in just a few minutes and see if it can go down a little bit lower and kind of fill the gap later in the day. Other than that, team, that's my time for this afternoon. Hope you all had fun. If you have any questions, let me know. But today is Wednesday. There are 2 days left in the free week here at RLT. We got Sheer Greatness coming on the microphone next. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Appreciate you all being here. I think I'm handing the microphone to my boy, Tony.
What's up? What's up?
Who's about to blow your guys' minds. Talk about a wealth of knowledge and a wealth of information, man. Tony, you ready for this, dude? You amped?
Oh, I couldn't sleep last night. I was so excited.
I figured.
Well, sweet, man. Thanks for covering.